Origen now, then ROCCAT will go on to play Vitality, and Origen will go on to play Giants also this week. And both those games will also be insanely important because these wins are so important.
They are indeed. As we jump into picks and bans, Deficio, ROCCAT had side selection in game number 2. They elected blue side. That is why you see the same blue-red. Origen elected red side in game number 1. And this time round, ROCCAT are banning out their own Jace. They first picked it, along with that Lee Sin in the second rotation, and unfortunately, ROCCAT did not have particularly strong early game.
Yes, and that's actually why I think banning Jace makes a lot of sense, because ROCCAT demonstrated in the last game they couldn't play a composition that relied on like 1-3-1 and getting ahead early on. It was simply something where they were too passive to use it. I think going for something like a Jhin here is better because it allows you, or Malzahar is another good one, it allows you right now to like force fights easier. Like Malzahar is legit flash ulti and you can start a fight. So it's going to be easier for ROCCAT to use that to maybe create a pick than before, where they were kind of relying on trying to outmaneuver the enemy team as well. And early Lulu pick, obviously as a counter to the Malzahar. Very early they show it, which is surprising that, again, none of these teams seems to value Jhin high enough for taking him early. We saw 6 in the last game. Ashe is still up there as a fantastic pick as well. Really strong with Malzahar. Also because Ashe does well against a lot of supports who is good against Malz.
And also something Hjarnan has played a couple times in the past. Got 3 games under his belt.
You know, gives you some engage, makes it easier then to start some of these fights. So
gives you some of those tools that ROCCAT were lacking from game number 1.
Yeah.
Lee Sin again for Maxlore. I'd like to see more from him. I think with the Malzahar, you're going to have some more options with the Jhin, long-range roots, long-range ulti for engage. There's already, it feels like, more tools available to him. Tabzz for that ADC. Do you really want to go Ezreal Lulu into a Jhin?
So if you're Origen, well, if you're Origen here, Ashe becomes the normal pick because again it works against Malzahar with a very long range. You can proc his passive, but they really value this Ezreal very, very highly, and they think with the Lulu counter pick against Malzahar, it's going to be enough for Tabzz in the laning phase. So clearly very high priority on this pick. Everyone is kind of matching roles, so we get to see mid and top lane bans coming in now. Once again, Rumble getting banned away. Really sad because we prepared a very special graphic for.
We did. We'll have to save it for another day.
Another day.
Deficio. Last time it was Fiora.
I like Wadid. He's so happy all the time.
From Origen. Origen will need to ban something else this time around. Syndra, Rise. 2 of the champions that were removed from the pool last time round.
You got it right.
One of them.
You got it right. The art
of
casting is just say 5 champion names and hope you get one of them. Damn, I didn't get to say few, but I would.
Yeah, because you were too busy trying to make fun of me. But
I wouldn't have said Gragas. So.
Gragas has been banned, denying that from Satorius, who used it pretty well in the previous game, but he was given the chance to, right? That's the difference.
Give me Nautilus. I think Nautilus is great. Thank you. There we go. No one wanted to play it last game. Would have been great for ROCCAT actually to use it last game. Against the Gragas. Still think running a tank top lane, if you are a team where you need to rely on like team fights to win games, which is most teams around the world who can't execute proper 1-3-1s very cleanly. It's not just ROCCAT Origen, this is a lot of teams in the world. So I like them again running with like a tank, scaling, team fight, and they're simply just saying to ROCCAT, you can't snowball early game. We don't believe you can do it, so we're gonna pick late game. And we talked about, you know, in this 75-minute long game, if you guys missed that one point, then I hate all of you, but we did mention that if you are ROCCAT, maybe you pick scaling yourself, because you can't win early game fast enough, so you also need a strong late game. And Swain hover,
let's not touch on it, but I mean the Maokai, the Jhin, it's going to give you some of that options. Lee Sin can help in theory, but not the greatest. And
what?
It is locked in.
Jesus Christ, this series is delivering. Swain mid lane. Blind Swain mid lane.
What does NaeHyun run into it?
Anything that can like bully lane could be fine against him.
So Syndra.
Syndra could be one of them. The thing is, so top lane Swain has a very strong laning phase against a lot of these tanks, but then scales really poorly. Mid lane Swain used to have much better matchups, but then we nerfed him quite a bit. Death by Touch also got nerfed, which was obviously annoying for him. Should still be fine, at least go even in the lane. Problem for Swain is just he's mid to late game. While he's hard to kill, he doesn't really deal that much damage against like champions who get a bit of magic resistance, you know, a Hex Stringer, almost anything really, really like kind of stops him from being this monster late game carry. He's annoying because again, he's so hard to kill, but...
And that's tough when you look at the fact you're gonna have a mobile ADC that's gonna be able to potentially get away from you. Graves gonna eventually build tanky, Nautilus tanky, Lulu for the wild growth. There's a lot of options, and even Lulu in herself, pretty easy at trying to deal with Swain running at you.
Important history lesson. We have to only go a year back, so it's something a lot of people might remember. With Betsy last split, he played Swain all the time. When everyone else stopped playing Swain after the nerfs, he kept using it. And he was actually pretty successful on it. It was one of his best champions. Vladimir was another one. Vladimir is back. Somewhat in the meta. We've seen him in LCK a few times.
Happened today.
Yeah, exactly. Could have been, you know, a pick as well. But I'm very surprised to see a blind pick Swain. To me, it feels like it's comfort over anything. And it's Betsy saying, you know what? They don't know how to play against this. Give me this champion in mid at the moment. This is the do or die game for our team. And I'm going to carry.
Just taking a quick look, obviously a couple of top lane Swains have featured over in NALCS. They even happened in EUCS. Smitty J played it from Schalke, and the last mid lane that we saw was actually Saya from Latan, and you know, while that's not saying a huge amount, 7.1 a few patches ago, like you said, history lesson, Betsy, one of his mains from last year.
Yes.
Comfort can sometimes be better than all.
And that's the thing, had it been a top lane Swain, we wouldn't have been as surprised. We'd be like, all right, yeah, we've seen this before, you know, a few times. Mid lane Swain, however, it's been long gone. So, remember, Deathfire Touch has not been hit on this patch just yet. And I really want to see what he can actually do. So Exhaust, he's going for the I don't want to die at any point in this game. Problem is, Morel Nomicon is going to get built on Syndra. Graves and Ezreal will both get Last Whisper into the healing reduction bad boy. That's also going to suck for Swain.
Yep.
And Graves is always going to get a bit of MR. He becomes a bit of a bruiser, so you won't really burst him down. But there are, of course, the Syndra, which is always a target. Oh, Wadid, the sneaky moves.
Gonna throw down.
Sucked in the stomach when like
the crabs, and not really gonna get a lot of damage though. There's obviously Tabzz and Peke able to move away. Betsy, first level, gonna put a point into that Decrepify. The Laser Bird.
One of the changes that happened when we reworked Swain.
Sits in place.
Sits in place. Used to be such a bad ability to use because whenever you popped it on someone, he had to walk like 2 steps back and the bird would just disappear. Like legit the worst bird ever. Now it's a much better ability. What is this? Is this a Raptor Star?
Yep, same as previous game actually.
Oh, same as every game.
Yeah, Wisdom. Pull that one off. Maxlore and Phaxi gonna double team the Sentinel. Get an early blue buff over to Maxlore, and then we'll see what level of impact Maxlore can have.
I just want to see what Swain can do in mid. Like, honestly, I have no idea how this matchup is going to go. I think, a worst case, if NaeHyun doesn't want to fight him, he can literally just play like the pushing game and then let Betsy sit and be his own little weird bird.
I was looking at Betsy's stats on Swain last year. He actually went 3-3 on that champion. 6 games played. Is Vladimir 7 games played? Unfortunately, no wins to his name. So, yeah, not the greatest. But again, it's a team that went into the promotion tournament that did struggle.
And that's the thing, like, important to note, obviously, for Betsy, last year he was sitting at, you know, number 10 in the league for most of
the split.
So obviously it was very tough for him to pick up wins. So far, though, again, remember, Swain's early laning phase is good. Very good poke, very good harass with the bird coming down. And if you can get EQ on someone, you're going to win that trade most of the time. It's generally better against melee champions because then you can keep the bird in front of them at all time. Basically, when they walk into last hit, you just put EQ on them and they have to walk back and they lose a lot of HP. A little bit harder to use against ranged champions.
So when you combo that type of ability with the likes of a Malzahar, there's a lot of damage that can come down, you know, especially as the game plays out. Never Move comes down onto NaeHyun. He's caught out, and Betsy knocked away by Scatter the Weak.
Important to know that NaeHyun has gone with Ignite here as a very offensive summoner to get more healing reduction, but problem for him is no, like, cleanse. And obviously, you don't always have to bring it against Swain, but it opens up for Maxlore to come into this mid lane, and if you land like a slow into a W, then NaeHyun is gonna die. If there's a jungle gang, it's very easy to kill him. Maokai roaming down as well can happen, Twisted Advance. Like, NaeHyun is not gonna go anywhere, which is gonna be tough then for him to maneuver around this Swain. But as long as he doesn't like take any dumb trades early, he should be able to just farm on Syndra.
All right, farm on Syndra and play it safe. Then look to insta-give people.
Yeah, we might see NaeHyun with new confidence.
I mean, I hope so. It is a win at the end of the day. OG 1-0.
He popped the cherry.
And it's been a long time. The first win here on European soil for the 2017 version of the squad. It's, you know, if you look at xpeke's win-loss, he's 1-2. That's not bad.
Hey, it's better than the rest of Origen.
In a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
And again, you know, there's a little bit of silliness, but upgrades here as well. Maxlore and Phaxi coming in onto Satorius, not going to waste their flashes over chasing, but they burn Satorius' flash.
Yeah.
Maxlore has a successful gank in the early game.
Exactly. We got to go back again to the start of the last game where we were tracking Maxlore for basically the entire early game, being like, okay, you know, top lane is an opening with the Jace, you can go gank there, maybe mid lane as well, there's definitely chances. He got level 6, nothing happened, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh no, xpeke gets caught out, forced to flash early, Malefic Visions and the Void Swarm doing so much damage.
All right, tough for him though, but again, back to Maxlore, he ganked. Definitely a new thing. Don't really have anything else to say.
No, look, it's just...
Yeah.
It's nice to see a difference. That's what you got to praise, and it resulted in a flash. We need to see a repeat gank. We need to see that disciplined play where Maxlore can go and punish the lack of summoner spell. Actually, there's 2 lanes with no summoner spells, because now all of a sudden, xpeke as well. Maxlore and Wisdom, they're fighting back and forth. Smokescreen comes down. Support from Betsy. They're going to fancy the fight. This is a 2-on-2. Is the blast cone alive? Yes, it is. And Wisdom can hop over the wall. Laser bird into never move. Dragon gets caught out. Dash forward from Wisdom. He gets away from the Sonic Wave. First blood picked up by Maxlore, but traded back and forth by Wisdom. NaeHyun's run out of mana, and he's forced to run away. And the Dragon is shooting the crazy Birdman as Betsy runs away.
That looked like nothing at first, but turned into quite a chase, where first blood went over to ROCCAT, I believe, and then Wisdom managed to get a kill in return. 1 for 1 is what they end up getting. Actually, first blood might have gone over to Wisdom to make it even better. Point is, the scaling jungler got a kill, so did the jungler who has to force something in the early to mid-game, or maybe more the mid-game than anything. So I think Wisdom is going to be happy enough with this. Summoners, flash from NaeHyun. That is bad. Yeah. That is a problem. This is where Maxlore gets his level 6, returns to the mid lane, and takes that kill.
No flash available to him. I'm going to quickly look at experience. Maxlore very, very close to level 6. He's on the Krugs at the moment as Wisdom starting to invade. I think Wisdom on the next camp will hit his ultimate. And if you look at the minimap, there's a little bit of movement. Peke and Wisdom moving into ROCCAT's jungle to place wards while we look at the top lane. Satorius and Phaxi, they're trading back and forth.
And this is one of the things Peke did bring to the team, like better understanding of like when to move out and get vision down. It's gonna be important for them. So this is a trade we see. Graves gets a very good trade against the Lee Sin. Blast Cone is up. I heard you kind of like breathed in just before you're like,
looking, yeah.
Blast. There it is. Boom. But Wadid around the corner is enough of them. Maxlore actually ends up flashing over as well, and they just trade. See who gets the first blood. It was Lee Sin.
Yeah. First blood to Maxlore and Wisdom with the reply kill. So a little bit of extra bonus gold in the early game for the champion that sort of needs it more.
But what I wanted to praise was the vision now on the bottom side from Origen, because that's so important for NaeHyun. That means he can play to that side where he has 4 wards. Top lane, no Satorius, no flash.
Maxlore, the repeat gank. There's no flash for Satorius. Depth charge goes out. Phaxi's fighting in a minion wave, down to 150 HP, but an easy kill for ROCCAT.
Yeah, much better from Maxlore. In the champ select, I was kind of like, ooh, Lee Sin again? I don't know, because last game you didn't really have any impact. But this one here, much better. He's active on the map, 2 kills so far. Top lane, he's getting an advantage from Maokai. Now, Maokai in this patch has been nerfed quite a bit. His laning phase is much weaker, but he's still the best scaling tank. So when you now get a kill for him in the top lane, you get some damage on his tower, you get him through this laning phase, then he will become more powerful than Nautilus.
And dare I say it, a combo of Lee Sin Maokai, slightly simpler execution than a Lee Sin Jace in terms of ganks, right?
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
You know, point and click CC, early pressure.
Generally, you don't need really mechanics to play Maokai.
Yeah.
You need a keyboard and like 1 finger. Actually, you don't even need a finger, you just need a mouse, because you can click on the ability and then click on a champion.
You can indeed. And that is what has allowed Phaxi and Maxlore to get a kill. Second of the game. By the way, this dragon was spotted out. You can see the ward in the pits on the left-hand side of your screen. Wisdom will take that one down. full vision of ROCCAT, so they'll be aware of it. But Origen, down a kill, up a dragon, got some regen as well. That'll play into their favor ever so slightly. Not the strongest just yet. And
I mean, they're winning bot lane right now in terms of farm. That is great for them. The Swain hasn't really gotten to do a whole lot in the mid lane either. And remember, as we said here, Swain's late game, it becomes harder and harder for him to really take down these champs because he doesn't burst. It's like overtime damage, a lot of it. So in fights, it's hard to get enough time to just sit there and deal like damage for 10 seconds, basically. Bot lane, we might have some action. Here's a gank from Wisdom.
We will indeed. Glitterlance comes down as well as the collateral damage, and Hjarnan summon a heal. He held onto his flash. Tabzz had already used the True Shot Barrage, but Origen, they're taking control of this lane. Plus 15 CS, despite the fact that xpeke got jumped on early, despite the fact xpeke lost his flash early. And that's not a bad sign for the Origen squad.
So far, it is definitely fine for them, but their late game is not as strong as the last game. Last game, the story was all about, you know, ROCCAT not forcing stuff, and then Origen getting to late game. Maxlore with his gank top lane here, fighting a mid. We don't want to see that. It's
no, we don't, because,
dead.
Yeah. Easily lined up for Hjarnan, and that's just overstepping your bounds, maybe.
It's one of the reasons Malzahar is so good, because every pro player who's not Faker will always end up having a moment or two in a game where they overstep. Slightly too far forward, and Malzahar needs to click R on you, and then it's set up for the rest of the team to kill you. And if you're not close enough, he will just flash ult to you, and then he will kill you. So Malzahar works so well as a champion because it's so easy to play around him and his lane after he has ulti. It's kind of like, it's one of those champions where you say, like, why make it harder for yourself?
Yep.
You know, just make it, play a simple comp. Maokai, Malzahar, like, to me, that makes a lot of sense.
It does indeed. Tabzz is going to arcane shift away from the Sonic Wave. Maxlore fancying his chances. Game 1, nearly no impact in the early game. Game 1, no impacts, not nearly. Maxlore simply wasn't around. He's got 100% kill participation this game.
He's going to find xpeke.
Multiple ganks. Sonic Wave is going to find his target, but there's no Dragon's Rage available to him. It's on cooldown. xpeke's already used the exhaust. He's got a flash available. He's going to be forced to use it. Heal comes out for Tabzz as well. And again, problematic. No flash, no exhaust. It's another opportunity where ROCCAT can punish Origen.
Yeah, and I would love to see ROCCAT just play bot lane now. TP advantage. Malzahar gets his ulti very soon. No flash xpeke. That's a very easy gank to set up. First, though, he can go mid, and that's what Maxlore is doing. Yeah,
Betsy used the exhaust just before the unleashed power came out. So NaeHyun's ultimate not going to do the hugest burst damage. And with Wadid as well as Maxlore in the mid lane for support, NaeHyun's forced to run away.
Origen knows that bot lane is the focus from ROCCAT's side. You can see Maxlore moving down. This is exactly what I want to see. Just go down, have a ward you can TP to, and then threaten a dive. You can just kill xpeke, just ult him. That's the TP ward just placed by Maxlore. xpeke is going to run by it now. Might spot it and clear it. I don't think he has anything to kill it with. No, he doesn't. This should be an easy bot lane tower for ROCCAT. If xpeke steps in, he dies. So this is very good. Great setup. You have TP advantage. Exactly what we want to see. This is what ROCCAT failed to do in the first game. They're actually being proactive now. Stuff is happening.
Where was this ROCCAT? You know, they had a comp with really strong early game ability, but what's also important is the game-to-game adaptation, right? Went back to the drawing board. Maxlore, you know, probably called out by his team members for his early game impact, and
possibly
this time around, making it much better. So, you know, they got first blood, they got first dragon, they got, sorry, first tower rather. It was Origen, they got first dragon. And now we can see the roam around.
And Grabs and Freddy, obviously the assistant coach, had 75 minutes to kind of figure out what went wrong and how do we change it. So they had a lot of time in between, obviously the games here, to lock it down. And we see this adaptation, more scaling, a bit easier to play, a lot of pick potential with the Malzahar. And so far it's been working for ROCCAT. Not a massive goal lead, but at least now they can match Origen when it comes to fights later on in the game and don't have to just surrender everything. So that's going to be key in this series here.
What's good to see from ROCCAT is that if they're playing a bit more aggressive now, they should be able to, or theoretically, be able to continue pushing, right? And continue playing. That's what we hope to see.
Let's calm down, Trevor.
Okay.
And just wait for it to happen. And then we'll see it. Push from Origen on bot side and TP.
All right, so Satorius is committing to this one. Maxlore, Dragon's Rage kick is available to him. Tower will be falling very, very shortly, and Phaxi's been caught out. Depth charge onto Maxlore, sticking around far too long. ROCCAT just donates a kill, and all of a sudden with the dredge line coming out, Origen get tower and 2 for a cost of a top lane, and it's xpeke that gets the double.
Yeah, I love the Satorius teleport here. Very aggressive move, just saying, you know what, you're not going to defend this. We can easily take down 2 members under this tower, and they get the tower as well. Yes, okay, you trade top tower, but that's just a cross-map play. It's a good move from Origen with the teleport.
Flash ulti, knocks down NaeHyun.
It's so simple.
Look, the laser gazer stoppy circle.
So simple.
Kills NaeHyun. And, I mean, that's just the power of CC.
It is. And it's a power of Malzahar. You need 2 buttons. Flash ulti.
Deficio, do you know what the best CC in the game is?
Yeah, death, ha ha ha, nice meme.
Oh, dude, you killed my line.
But it's not a, I mean, come on. That line died like, what, a year ago?
And right now.
And right now it died again. You resurrected it, and I killed it before it did anything.
0-1-1. QSS picked up. He wants to avoid the hardest CC of all. Gonna get that locked down. And that's equally important when you think of actually all of the CC on Rocket. 4 of them can root you in place and lock you down.
Very true, very true. And if you at home aspire to be a pro action, never mind, let's talk about it after.
We will indeed. We will indeed. Maxlore and Wisdom going to be trading. The Dragon has been enlisted to help out ROCCAT, in fact, as it's tagging Wisdom. Maxlore can hop over the wall with Safeguard. I'm looking at the minimap. Phaxi in the river, and they decide not to commit. And True Shot Barrage helping out Origen secure their 2nd Ocean Drake of the game. So additional regen to help counterbalance any of the poke that could come down.
Not a whole lot of poke on each side, but it's fair. So we had Phaxi going in, thought he could defend 3v2, but then the TP from Satorius is very smart, and that's what nets them these 2 kills here. Maxlore just bursting down, you know, can't really do anything, and Betsy coming down doesn't really do a whole lot either because it's just too late. So this is simply just ROCCAT not expecting a teleport to happen.
Yeah. Risky defense anyway, right? Even without the teleport. You know, 2-on-3, tower's going very low.
But then you had some tanky members at least, and there wasn't a tank on the other side, but yeah.
Such a tough situation.
Gotta get some tea.
You get your tea. We're 15 minutes in, and ROCCAT have had some proactive plays. Origen have had some of their own. Another good Satorius teleport into the bottom lane. Pekka is definitely using Satorius' ability to teleport and make plays in every single game that they've played. Happened last week, happened this week.
Yeah.
There's no TP available this time around, so NaeHyun and Wisdom gonna potentially get caught out here. Actually, no, able to escape.
You also have to keep in mind, Pekka is the guy who owns the contract of Satorius. So when he says, come bot lane with teleport, you don't really say no, do you? You don't really challenge the boss like that?
No, you absolutely do not.
You just have to come and you're like, great, okay, we go bot lane, and it's been working pretty well for them. So far there's been no reason to challenge Pekka.
Calls have worked out in the early game. Once again, Origen looking decent. I'm looking at CS, I'm looking at towers. You know, it is a very close game once again. There's actually some scaling on both sides.
I mean, it's fair to say.
It's very different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very different scaling. Like before, it was like Origen having massive scaling and not so much on the other side. But it's just fair to say that both teams are almost exactly the same level. Like, that's actually the impressive thing here. They're so close to each other. It's so rare we see that. So, where's it you've been living a few years before you moved to Berlin, Trevor? Not South Africa, but after that.
I lived a little bit in the UK.
In the UK,
Yes.
okay. So, no one saw this, but what just happened was Trev has a cup of hot water, and normally you put a tea bag into it. He just decided to drink the hot water, and then he actually got very mad and sad. And now Phaxi's gonna die for it. That's his fault.
I'm as sad as Phaxi, because he's gonna get dropped here by 3 members. What can ROCCAT take elsewhere? Phaxi taking a long time to go down. That sap magic passive, keeping him alive a few seconds longer. 4th kill secured here for Origen. ROCCAT look like they should be able to take this tower down. Not yet, though. Backing away. Couple of hits more. Never move. Not going to get caught out. NaeHyun's locked. That's a great kick. Maxlore finds his man. Gets a kill and the tower.
All right, so again, ROCCAT getting a 1-for-1 plus something else with that turret. Super important for them in this game here. And we're kind of building up to this big late game team fight. But we didn't really get the big late game team fight last time. I think we had like 10 fights that started where no one died. This game, though, with Maokai and Malzahar, someone has to die. Because either they flash in, and if they don't kill someone, they die themselves, or they kill the enemy. Like, NaeHyun, tough game so far. He got his first game. It's probably all he wanted at this point. But now you need to set another goal. That's how it works with goals, you know. First you have one. When you get close to achieving it, you set another goal, and you keep moving forward. This game has been tough for him so far.
So many engaged tools for ROCCAT. It took them a couple of tips to find NaeHyun correctly, but Maxlore, good ward hop. Good kick this time around. And ROCCAT still using their tools effectively. They're ahead in gold, they're ahead in kills, they're ahead in towers. They're playing the map. I'm going to keep my eye on their vision because that's going to be very important to continuing to keep Maxlore relevant as this game plays out. And they don't want to run the risk of being surprised by Satorius or NaeHyun or Wisdom in that regard.
That's true. So I think vision is important, but I think the second thing we just have to look at with ROCCAT is just like proactivity.
Yeah.
Like you have so many tools to now force these fights. You have a small advantage, but it's a big enough advantage for you to get into the enemy jungle. And Wadid has flash ulti at the moment. That's enough to go in and just like flash on a Tabzz or a Wisdom, and you can kill them. Because this is a much, faster mid game than the last one where basically they were just pushing back and forth. Now we have at least seen some kills.
But what we have seen from both games, Origen not necessarily being able to defend their towers. Now the last game was maybe team comp related a little bit. This time around, ROCCAT, they seem a little bit more aware of how to play different lanes in the early game. They got a couple towers. They set up the 1-3-1, the early stages at least, but they couldn't necessarily push it further, is what we saw in that previous game.
No, but they're setting up for a potential dive here. NaeHyun is the man defending with QSS. Needs some help though. Satorius might look to go back and then TP in. Oh, NaeHyun again, almost getting caught him.
Yep.
Man, he hates this Swain pick.
No flash for him now. Although, with the fact that ROCCAT committed so many resources to the top lane, this allows Wisdom to get a lot of damage onto this mid-outer turret. Both junglers trading for a little bit, and down on the bottom lane, Wisdom's going to get caught out. Nethergrass,
it's so easy,
locks him down.
It's so easy.
Hjarnan gets a kill, doesn't even need the flash. It's not done yet. Wild growth used by Peke, trying to run away from the crabs, but it won't be enough. NaeHyun, no flash, remember. He's tagged out. Sonic Wave. Maxlore's got the kick, follows through, gets the flash kick. Double kill for Wadid. Tabzz just stands looking pretty. Satorius sends the mine. It blows up Maxlore. All of a sudden, it's a 3 for 2, and Origen get a few kills back.
But again, we're getting action. We're getting some fights here. ROCCAT catching Wisdom first. We just talked about it, you can take someone like him, just ult him straight away. He's going to die. Origen did get 2 kills in return, but still lost more. And now, another fight, Trev.
It is indeed. Phaxi's got a flash available.
Okay.
Giant bird, go! Core! No,
that's
not gonna go for
bird.
it.
Wrong bird.
I'll try a little bit later. Isn't it crows? Don't crows core? I don't know what bird Swain transforms into actually, so maybe I'm misrepresenting Swain here, but
maybe it is.
Not quite sure. Fiddlesticks is the core.
Because it's Fiddle where you do that one, obviously.
It's true. Don't know if it's the same birds.
Is Fiddle still a champion, actually? I don't think I've seen him in like a year.
He is. There's a few Fiddle 1 tricks up in high elo. There was one that was on Reddit a little while ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder how he jumped.
Not the most impactful, but look, those types of champions, much like a Mumu, just not the greatest at this level.
Well, to be fair, but Amumu is really, really strong in lower elos.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually, like, early pick him and everyone's kind of celebrating in the chat. It's kind of fun. But because he is very good against, like, uncoordinated players.
Yeah, and this game, we're not actually seeing that.
No,
Origen and ROCCAT have had much more coordination. We're 22 minutes in. Origen have 3 dragons. Mountain Drake to go with the 2 oceans. There's another ocean coming up. 3 oceans. Maybe we'll see a sailing race later. It's one of them. Origen a little unlucky with the type of spawns. But at the very least, it's objective trading, right? ROCCAT have got the towers, Origen have got the dragons. If we get to another one of those late games where Elders come into play,
that's not how it works.
Pivotal. No support for Wadid until now. Curtain Call comes out, and Wadid, the mine's going to pop him up, and it's going to kill him. Satorius finds an execute with the ultimate. Wild growth turns that into a gigantic Nautilus. All of a sudden, this fight's getting messy. Unleashed power still available for NaeHyun. He's looking for a target. Satorius dies up north. Betsy gets chunked down by the ultimate, but the Birdo survives, sustains, and he's looking to set up more. 2 members of Origen down for only Wadid.
Such a problem for Origen. They can never get a fight where they can actually get to the back line of ROCCAT. Hjarnan was untouched there. Betsy took a little bit of damage, went back in, healed it back up, and over and over and over. It was the same thing. With the Syndra being so far down, a lot of the burst is gone from Origen's composition. Wisdom has not been able to kind of unleash in these fights either, and overall, so far...
Yeah, look at how split ROCCAT are at the start of this fight.
I mean, so this ulti is obviously not great from Wadid because there's no follow-up, but now when the fight is on, NaeHyun and Tabzz and Peke are all on the other side of the wall, while Satorius just TP'd in. So there's obviously no damage right now going on to ROCCAT. By the time Hjarnan joins, no one is actually committing over the wall to get him, so they can't get to the back line. They can't burst down the Swain either. That just means you're not dealing any damage in a fight like this one. And ROCCAT gets a well-deserved, you know, 2 or 3 kills.
Yeah, another 2 or 3 kills. It's going to extend their gold lead. We just caught a glimpse of Wisdom almost being caught by Betsy as well, who has 2 items completed already.
Exactly, and another thing now we hope that Grabs that Freddy has been kind of noting down from the last game was that now that you have the advantage, buy control wards. Come on, sell your potions, get wards, set up for Baron, and make plays like this one. Oh,
so easy. xpeke doesn't even get a chance to use Wild Growth. The curtain call comes up, and Wisdom actually going to get kicked towards the outer limits. Tabzz all of a sudden gets tagged. 4-0-6. Hjarnan on Jhin is just having a field day as the rest of his squad are setting him up for success. I mean, ROCCAT bounced back in spectacular fashion here.
Still a lot of wards around this Baron trap. It can be a risky one. Peke is dead though, so is Wisdom. So at this point you can just start it. There you go. And then if someone shows out, like Betsy's hiding, he's gonna try and trap NaeHyun and kill him.
Gonna get stunned out, doesn't get a chance to go into bird form. Ravenous Flock plus exhaust. Betsy's gonna get dropped down with the help of Tabzz. Now Tabzz is locked down. It's a 1 for 2, but Baron has been stopped. Satorius slightly overcommits, but with the help of a Glitter Lance, is able to escape. 1 for 2, you stop Baron, probably okay, but not great.
Yeah, again, worst situation for Origen to be in, you know, either you lose members or you lose Baron, so you will lose something. Again, ROCCAT here, more proactive, they start the Baron, instantly Betsy hiding in the brush, they force a fight, get a few more kills, because we're only 25 minutes in, like, you don't need the Baron at the moment. We had a 75-minute one just before, like, there's technically plenty of time.
Deficio, talking about those Barons, Origen picked up 5 Barons in that game. ROCCAT have picked up 5 Barons the entire split. That's the type of game that we had.
But it's what I said, you know, Origen were just improving the stats with that long game. So, good setup here to create a trap. And then as soon as Origen moves in to stop you, you get 2 more kills for yourself. So, decent setup here from ROCCAT. And it's been a much better game from them. Like, much cleaner game as well. They've been controlling the last, like, 10 minutes.
More proactive in the team fights, earlier, better vision. Like, every single thing you want to look at from the ROCCAT side has seemed to gotten better, right? But now it's the next step. Now it's using that advantage they've built up, plus 5K, plus 4K, sorry, to play around this Baron. That's what the vision is doing.
Yeah.
And force Origen's hand.
Exactly. Like, again, you just force the enemy team into a lose-lose situation.
Yes.
It's the, do they get Baron or do they get some kills? Like, we have to pick one of them.
And ROCCAT's hoping for both.
ROCCAT will obviously love both. I'd love to get the Baron and then pick up kills after. Because they're going to need this Baron buff, obviously, for them to kind of further increase the lead. But they're in a good spot.
Blue trinkets on cooldown for Origen here, so...
At this point, NaeHyun also has to switch his trinket. Like, you have no vision, you have no control. You need more blue trinkets than just one to spot this Baron here. And if you are a ROCCAT, like, at some point you can just start it. Like, you can just start it. Once Phaxi is pushed up here, you can just... Because if they don't move, if they don't leave the mid lane, you get the Baron for free.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no Mountain Drake on the side of ROCCAT, so it makes it a bit slower. But you want to use that to force the fight.
Well, ROCCAT started that a second ago. Unfortunately, Betsy took a lot of damage, so gave up his life. Wadid's passive gets popped, and True Shot Barrage tags 3. Origen are just fighting for vision here. Now, luckily, ROCCAT backed away, so Origen have been able to push all the way up to the Baron pit, get a couple of control wards down, get a couple of wards into the pit as well. So this again, now it's just ROCCAT's reset, right? All of that pressure they built up, all of the play, need to go back to the drawing board, need to re-engage the vision, and that's what ROCCAT are doing.
It's really slow and steady, honestly. Because nothing new is kind of happening, if that makes sense. We're kind of waiting for the same setup from ROCCAT. You push your lanes, you set up a Baron. All the control wards just disappeared. We'll slow down the process a little bit.
And that's going to be interesting to see how ROCCAT can play it. Flash engage onto Wisdom. Wild Growth comes up. That buys some time. Unleashed Power doesn't kill Wadid. And NaeHyun forced to flash again. He gets out of range of the Sonic Wave, and that's going to be enough to save his life. ROCCAT, there's no smite for 35 seconds on Origen. Do they risk the Baron? A lot of HP on Phaxi, but not a lot of mana to work with.
Oh, no flash on NaeHyun right now. If a fight breaks out, he might be an easy target. Phaxi can get onto him. Betsy as well. I like the call to start it here. Be ready to disengage and fight, though.
It's a 4v4. Wadid's coming in from behind. No ultimate. He's got an exhaust.
Go for it, NaeHyun.
Scatter the weak. That's a very good stun. Nobody gets locked down with the unleashed power. And then all of a sudden, NaeHyun's looking to push forward. Wadid goes down. ROCCAT potentially losing the fight. Satorius on the front line as Tabzz is throwing out Mystic shots after Mystic shot. Betsy, remember, not a lot of damage. And with no mana, he goes back from Birdo to Weird Man mode. And he's forced to run away. The Baron again is interrupted.
Very offensive to call him Weird Man mode. He's just an old man with a stick, Trevor. There's actually nothing wrong with how he looks. But that being said, Origen stop another Baron. They got ocean drakes, they got mountains. What are you doing down there?
Just catching my breath, Deficio. We're in for a long one.
Okay.
NaeHyun is not, as he sticks around far too long with low HP. And Origen will pick up their 4th uncontested dragon.
But now, ROCCAT can go Baron again. This time with full HP, ulti on Wadid, so it's going to be much easier to force the fight. I think before they could easily have like set up the fight, but they were probably lacking mana on a lot of them. So start it again. It's going to be another fight, Trevor.
All right, it will. Origen coming in. Passive from Wadid. He's going to get popped there a second ago. He throws down the Nether Grasp, but peel away from Baron. Wild Growth buys some time. Satorius is still alive. The Golden Bird of Betsy throwing down damage with the Flock. Wisdom and Tabzz running for their life. They've been routed, split apart. Pekka is being run down by Maxlore as soon as he gets turned back to Lee Sin form. Jumps onto Tabzz. Very good Sonic Wave. Tabzz is landing shot after shot, but a kick to the head sends him back to the fountain. 2 members of Origen down, and ROCCAT, again, they don't get the Baron, but they're getting the kills.
Yes, it's like we said just before, it's kind of the same thing we're watching over and over. It's Baron setup into a few kills in a team fight. At some point, ROCCAT gets so far ahead in gold that Origen won't be able to stop the Baron. They will lose the Baron and will lose some members as well. So now, we reset. We take a quick break, we got a minute, then ROCCAT will get full HP, go back to Baron, set up the exact same thing, because Origen took the dragon, by the way. It says there's nothing to do on bottom side.
Yep.
And this is just a fine setup. Betsy goes in, uses W to zone off a few members, and then you can just take down Satorius, and then the tank is gone. And at this point, there's nothing Origen can do in the fight, because NaeHyun is dead as well for another 10 seconds.
This is good play from Maxlore. Turns his attention onto Tabzz. Gets, I think the sapling was providing vision there.
Yep.
So, managing to land the skill shot, but 6, 3, and 10. The ROCCAT squad has got 18 kills. Look at that. Look at the damage from Maxlore. All of a sudden, he decides to play Lee Sin, and this is the performance that you can put together. You know, there's not a huge amount that has changed between these two squads, other than ROCCAT being more willing to make plays. ROCCAT aggressively pushing advantages.
They need to keep doing it, Trev. Problem is, every time you only get a few kills and nothing more, like, it is good. Obviously, you get a big advantage. The game just gets, you know, prolonged. So it is a problem that Origen still have a chance to mess you up at that Baron fight.
All right, curtain call. Where's the target? Wisdom gets hit 2, 3, and the 4th is gonna go a miss.
Because now Betsy has to go back to base again, so Origen gets further and further towards like the 4 to 5 item mark.
Yeah. And
if ROCCAT then makes a mistake around the Baron, then boom, Origen might get the advantage. Like 4 Drakes, you know, if there comes an Elder Drake later, that's huge. With Tita's flash, here's ulti. This is the time that my voice breaks, and that shows it's been a long series.
Flash, series, game 2. There's one more to go, Deficio.
Still been a long series. 5
QSSs. QSS times 5 on Origen. Every single member has it and has it available.
Don't think you need it on Nautilus, but fair enough.
Hey, Satorius died last fight. He was the one that was jumped on.
I know, but
how different the fight could have been if he could have got away. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Right? Your job is basically to stay alive for as long as possible, so I guess the QSS can help there. But there are definitely other tank items adding more value in that sense. However, 5 QSSs, it is in. And that's another thing, you know, about a support pick. It's a support pick. Yeah, you all have to buy QSS.
Luckily, the QSS also works for Never Move, also works for Deadly Flourish. Also works for Maokai Twisted Advance. Like, there's a lot of CC that can work, and Maxlore, he just gets insta-gibbed. Well, it took 3 ultis, but still counts.
Hey, we said it, you know, every time Origen stops the Baron, they get a bit more time. Higher chance of a ROCCAT mistake. They're finding Phaxi.
All right, Phaxi's gonna run for his life. Wisdom Gonna be able to sidestep the route. Phaxi very, very tanky, over 3,000 hit points and a Guardian Angel available. Redemption comes down to buy additional time. Wadid being tagged by all of the damage of Origen. Phaxi continues to run away. Still has the Guardian Angel. Wisdom's the first of the fight to die. And Origen decide they don't want anything more of it. They back away despite having what could have been a 5v4.
Yeah, no flash on Phaxi. He just kind of walks away. ROCCAT back towards the Baron, but he's very low at this point. We'll get the Honey Fruit. Origen is not around. They have TP on Satorius. They did see something get lit. There's a ward on top here. It doesn't actually spot them on Baron. They're pinging it.
Good vision toggle from the observers. If Wadid or Hjarnan go too far to the left, they'll get spotted out. Although this time around, there's a ward in the pit. Peke's put it down. Satorius is going to teleport in, instantly flash. Both summoner spells blown. What will it cost? 10 seconds before Wisdom becomes alive. There's still an unleashed power available for NaeHyun. He needs to get a good start. He needs to get a good target. Hjarnan's Edge of Night is also about to time out. Scatter the Weak. That stuns up 3. Wadid's forced to run away. Flash forward from Phaxi. Origen now get jumped on. Betsy needs to regen. Very good kick onto NaeHyun. He gets exhausted down. His ultimate does nothing. No. But Wadid's gone as well. Betsy's trying to heal up. xpeke and Tabzz trying to do work. It's a messy, messy fight that ends in a 1-for-1.
Wait, Origen could have definitely chased that one there, like a big tank. That Wisdom coming as well. Tabzz still had plenty of HP. Betsy might get sniped.
No, not gonna be enough.
Has the Hourglass, so there's some armor. Some defensive stats. The
Screw it. Origen are going onto Baron. Come on, ROCCAT. How are you gonna stop this one? Curtain call and a teleport. This is going to be risky. Wisdom, Tabzz, Satorius buying as much time as they can. Leduc is nervous. Baron secured by Origen.
God damn it, I said it!
That's the 6th of the series. Hjarnan's also coming in. Phaxi's on the front line. He's looking to engage, buying time for Betsy and Maxlore to come up. All of a sudden, Hjarnan gets tagged. Mate, you're not a frontliner.
I told you, Trevor!
You're not a frontliner. Redemption's gonna deal damage. ROCCAT are engaging. They've kicked Tabzz. They've killed Peke. They're looking for Satorius and Wisdom, and it's gone to hell. Origen get Baron, and then they all get killed.
Except for NaeHyun. He's alive. Everyone, does he have the Baron buff? That's the big question.
No!
No, he doesn't have it. All right, well, the point still stands. They got the Baron, Trevor. Look at the positive. And right now, separate topic, my Twitter is getting spammed with people telling me that Hourglass is useless against Ezreal ulti. So, correcting myself, I meant the Abyssal Scepter for the magic resist. Just want to be the selfish caster who talks about that instead of the other thing. So guys, stop spamming me on Twitter. I get it. I meant the other item.
All right, the other item.
Move on, Trev.
Moving along, moving along. These are not the droids you're looking for. Is Origen. Look, the gold they get from Baron is going to close back that lead. It's 37 minutes into this game.
And the most important thing, ROCCAT didn't get the Baron.
Oh my word, and now ROCCAT get Elder Dragon as well. So all of that early game advantage that Origen was investing into, it's not even going to equate.
Remember, this Elder Drake,
it's very weak.
It's very weak. There's 0 Drakes. So, if you're Origen, trading basically 4 members to deny ROCCAT getting the Baron when you were pretty far behind on the map, it's actually not that terrible of a trade. Obviously, yeah, in terms of gold value and so on, it's not great. But the fact that you stop ROCCAT from getting Baron multiple times, then you finally get it yourself, just means that now ROCCAT can't play around that objective, so ROCCAT cannot push the advantage further. And you are the team with 4 Drakes. You're the team, if you get an Elder Drake late game, that's going to be huge for you. So Origen is definitely still in this game by stopping ROCCAT from getting Baron, mixing up the teams a little bit.
It's okay. It's already been a long series and there's potential for another game. Look, it was a messy fight at the end of the day, but you're seeing ROCCAT engaging, you're seeing ROCCAT going in over and over, they're committing. This was the biggest flaw from game 1. That is still growth.
So, and this is good for ROCCAT. It's good for ROCCAT. They get these kills. They get the Elder Drake. Again, it's not a huge Elder Drake, but they can still use it to push. So it's definitely not terrible. But if you're on the Origen side with the 4 Drakes, you're still in this game. And part of that was you got a Baron and you took it away from ROCCAT.
Okay, so what else can ROCCAT take with this? Elder Dragon slowly going to be working its way down. Origen, there's not an Elder pit. Elder Dragon to worry about. There's not a Baron to worry about. They just have to try wave clear. And luckily, they've got themselves pretty long-range wave clear in the form of that Syndra and the Ezreal. If they're willing to get forward, but look, they're not even willing to get caught. There's so much CC.
Yeah,
the risk involved is so high.
You have to respect that. So you just give up these turrets, but we're already 40 minutes in. So you're getting close to full items already. Let's see here. Good push from ROCCAT. I like how they've been using the Drake so far.
Wisdom's using his ulti to try clear the wave. He did a decent job, but not the greatest. Maxlore gets a lot of damage on the left-hand side, while Satorius is being burned down by that burning ball of Swain. Satorius running for his life, and he gets rooted, locked in place. The tower goes down. Maxlore's looking for a kick, but he won't be able to kick in the direction of ROCCAT. Doesn't matter, though. He's given his life for the objectives. He's going to be dropping the inhibitor 30%. Scatter the weak, two-man stun, and ROCCAT are forced away. Not going to be able to lock anyone down is Hjarnan, and all of a sudden, the swinging back and forth and back. It's ROCCAT that gets the objectives.
Gonna TP in. He TP's behind him. He's really low, though.
This is not good. This might not be good. Is this good? Wadid spawns a crab. Satorius is running for his life. Oh, not sure if you want to re-engage him, matey. He's kiting. Really weird. The fight is now on two flanks again. Satorius has got two. Tabzz has got a red buff as well. The collateral damage on the back end of Wadid. He's low, below 50 HP. Satorius can't get in range. Wisdom's looking for it. Finally, the little mines, they take him out. Betsy gets another, and the Hjarnan crit shot onto Wisdom. Drops him low. Come on, guys, I can't breathe. Unleashed power onto Phaxi. NaeHyun with the double.
In the end, Origen did lose the inhib, but they pick up some kills, Trevor. They keep this game alive. And much like the last game, ROCCAT are putting some pressure, getting a little bit into the base of Origen. Sadly, couldn't do much more. Like, good Elder Drake, after all. They got three turrets and inhib. So, good Elder Drake from ROCCAT. Now we are back, focusing on the Baron. You can breathe for another minute. I'll just talk about something else.
Deficio, I'm casting a series every day this week.
Okay.
I might not have a voice tomorrow. 41 kills. 41 kills in 40 minutes after a 75-minute game.
If you need me to play-by-play a little bit, just let me know. I've been practicing.
No, I like the audience. I like the viewers. I don't need them to be punished by that type of voice, Deficio.
Like, I can also play-by-play. Like, NaeHyun in the mid lane, Maxlore, Wadid, Betsy in the mid lane.
I might appoint you to do a team fight. Be ready for me. Okay?
Oh, I will.
Be ready for me.
I'll go crazy.
You'll go crazy.
I'm gonna go demon mode. You know, where you really start.
I like that. A little bit of Captain Flowers.
A little bit of
generate that.
That is some serious hype.
We'll see if we can, because Origen will need some hype if they want to bounce back.
I will admit, when I saw him and I heard his cast, I kind of debated if Trevor was good enough for me.
Oh. Ooh.
And I'm still kind of just trying to decide.
Well, we'll find out. I'll see if I can
this game should test. Yeah,
there's 45 seconds till Baron. I get the inkling ROCCAT will start some dances, start some fights around it.
Oh yeah. And
Origen, no teleport for Satorius, so they're going to need to just keep control of that bottom lane before they're willing to engage in that Baron pit.
Yeah, and Trev, you are good enough. You're too good for me, actually.
Thank you, buddy. The curtain call, too good for Origen, as it does not mean anything. And if you look at the top lane, ROCCAT.
The tower's low up there. So top tower's low. Origen should know the push is obviously happening. They can see them all the way. We're looking for another big fight. Remember now, again, for someone like Betsy, he's still strong, he's hard to take down.
Yeah.
But he can't really burst anyone specifically. Trying with Tabzz.
Gets caught up by the anchor. The tower's going low. Smite screen will buy some time. Collateral damage used as well. Origen have defended the tower.
And we got to see some of the damage from a Swain if people are looking at Tabzz, because Tabzz is walking around in the bird, the queue for the full duration, and that is what Swain can do. If you have a lot of time, consistent DPS coming in, it is strong against squishy targets, but you don't one-shot someone, and that might be a problem for Betsy in these fights, because you can see how Origen, they're starting to hurt. They're really starting to kind of weave down these bruises here, Tabzz especially, but also Wisdom on this Graves. You have to respect his late game damage, and suddenly you're gonna have one of these fights where if the Origen carries can stay safe, they have enough time to burn through the Swain and the Maokai and the Lee Sin. But it's a lot.
They can stay safe.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Such a tough question, because Maxlore has been able to find his man. Been involved in 21 of the team's 25 kills. He's still landing kick after kick after kick.
Yeah, and at this point, ROCCAT honestly had a chance to just go for Baron with Satorius sitting in base defending. without teleport. If they have the timer on his TP, which they should have, they can't just start the Baron here. They have no control wards around it though, so now they put one down. So this is good. Okay. I like this call a lot. I think this is what they should do.
For Satorius, True Shot Barrage will buy some time. Look at that Void Swarm. Really tanking up the Baron, and helping out.
This is good.
All right, Deadly Flourish stuns nobody. Origen a little bit splits up, flash engage onto NaeHyun. He manages to unleash on Wadid. Traded 1-for-1. Betsy nearly at half HP. Wisdom not with his team. He gets kicked, flashed on. And all of a sudden, Betsy's unstoppable. Now Origen looking to get away. Very good usage of the Blast Cone from Tabzz. Well, he's going to Arcane Shift as well, and xpeke buys some time. Turns Phaxi into something even cuter than Maokai.
And another problem for Origen here, they used TP very, very late. Satorius didn't manage to join the fight, so not only did they now lose a few members, Inhib is going down as well in the mid lane.
ROCCAT want to force a game number 3. They jump onto Tabzz. Maxlore's forced away. Inhibitor in the mid lane is gone down. Inhibitor in the bottom lane will be the target very, very soon. Satorius is able to sidestep the stoppy circle. He's going to engage with a gigantic anchor. Thank you. Lost my words. And all of a sudden, the inhibitors are down. At 27 kills, ROCCAT are tied with the most kills by any team in one game. It was held by Splice versus Vitality. And the stats team inform me that if ROCCAT get one more kill, they will have the most kills for a single team in one game.
Did we just go from ROCCAT not getting a kill in 49 minutes to now being the team with the most kills in one game?
Correct. And
that literally doesn't make any sense.
To confirm,
that doesn't make any
tied.
sense.
Both Splice and Vitality have 27 kills each.
But they're going to get another kill. But to be fair, ROCCAT is cheating and playing very long games at the moment. This is a risky Baron, but they're going for it.
NaeHyun with a very, very quick QSS. He ends the Nethergrass. Looking at the minimap, Hjarnan is quite far away. Redemption comes down. The Baron is the target. It's secured by Origen, but at what cost? Satorius is kicked backwards. Phaxi is in the pit. He's going to get dropped down. Guardian Angel is popped. It's xpeke that life is lost. And unfortunately for Origen, they get the Baron, they lose xpeke, but they have it on 4 members.
Yeah, what a ballsy call here, but it paid off for Origen. Rushed it down, only lost one guy, and now you're back to defending, and Trev, just say your line. Say it.
ROCCAT hold the record for the most kills in a single game.
Not the team I expected to have it, but...
Actually, to be fair, it is kind of, right? Because...
it's such a dumb stat in a way, because like long games, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yep.
It's good. It's important. Hey, it's a thing. It's a thing.
I'm still going to get excited about it. There's a lot to get excited about this game. There's a lot to get excited about.
No taps. Oh yes, taps.
We might go to a game 3 here.
I mean, we might, but it's 3K goal lead. Doesn't matter at this point. You know.
Look at the base.
You're so close. Yeah. But you still need to get down the nexus. That's the key thing. You know. That's what the coaches are trying to teach the players here in Europe. Very often, because we have a lot of teams who think they're winning, they think the game is over, and then they can't really push it all the way in. They lose a team fight or two, and then boom, game is over. It happens quite often.
Boom, 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 the nexus goes down, and...
I'm looking at H2K right now. They do it all the time, so can ROCCAT.
Look at this. Satorius actually going to use that anchor. Pull himself in line of the curtain call. The tower is going to get dropped here. There's not enough members of Origen to defend. Wisdom's a little bit late to the engagement.
Wisdom!
Satorius on the front line. Wadid's going low. Wisdom locked into place. He's running for his life. It's split. A fight on 2 sides. Betsy's gone. Hjarnan's gone. ROCCAT are running for their life. Super minions are pushing down at the bottom. Phaxi's looking to re-engage on Tabzz, but he's going to get dropped as well.
Oh, baby! What did I tell you?
Will not go quietly into midnight.
The super minions are not doing enough right now. And as I just said, the Nexus, Trevor, needs to die. There are so many more fights in this game. This is going to be another at least 60 minutes, back and forth fights. And it's going to be close. Hjarnan is fed as hell, but he can't really do a whole lot because he's dealing with like big Satorius or Wisdom coming from the side. He has to respect that, and now we get like everyone gets a scimitar. You know, the Nautilus, yeah, the Syndra, why not? So look at this fight here. It's all onto Satorius. Good flank from Wisdom. Basically fighting 1v3 down here on the side. That allows him to kill Betsy up in the top lane. He doesn't have enough damage now to really take down a tank. And then suddenly Hjarnan drops as well. Syndra ulti, everything used, and one team fight by Origen. These inhibs are gonna respawn now. Elder Drake is gonna be the next big objective. 5 seconds on Phaxi. He does have teleport, but it might be too late. And this is a 4 Drake, Elder Drake. No smite. There's no smite. There's no smite.
There's a ward in the pit. Can Maxlore get it?
Oh!
No! It's picked up by NaeHyun. Origen get themselves the Elder Drake, the unleashed power. Not going to be enough to pop the GA. And Maxlore's running for his life. Uses the blast cone to safety and smites down the Krugs. Origen, 4 Dragon Elder, Mercurial Scimitar on his mid lane, Syndra. NaeHyun is looking to make it 2 games in a row.
Gotta weave in the auto attacks, but well timed there on the knockup. You saw the CC from Satorius was timed, so Maxlore couldn't actually get in and steal the Drake because Wisdom was running from base. So good timing there from Origen. Now they're hitting gold. They have the Elder Drake. There's no Baron though, but this Drake is huge and will buy them enough time to get inhibs back. So suddenly it is dead even again, much like the last game.
And Origen have a lot more ground to cover. If Origen have even this game out, if Origen can compete for Baron, Origen only have 2 towers secured and they need to do a lot of work. NaeHyun and Pekka are each tagged as Phaxi is looking to engage the Scimitar used by NaeHyun just to get rid of the slow and remove the risk of being caught by Phaxi.
And this late in the game as a professional team, like tracking cooldowns is just so important. Like if someone wastes a flash, if Scimitar is on cooldown for, you know, a certain amount of time, maybe when a fight breaks out, Wadid knows he can flash on that target and kill that target instantly, and that wins you the game. So tracking these things is so key now for these guys, but it's hard because you're so focused on a lot of stuff that's happening. You know, you look around, you see a bunch of idiot casters just like dancing around and yelling all the time with funny hats on.
True story.
And then it's hard to focus.
True story. Particularly animated when you have 2 games like this. And again, you know, we understand that these are interesting games, but it's because there is a lot at stake, you know. Teams are fighting for their lives. Look at this gold graph. ROCCAT, the early game, the mid game, it belongs to them. And unfortunately at sort of the last 2 hurdles, at the inhibitor and the Nexus, one bad team fight brings Origen right back into the game.
Exactly, and that's what's making it more exciting. Like, we get these late game fights where no one wants to be the one making the mistake. Like, ROCCAT needs to force another game. They can't just go down 2-0 to Origen, because then ROCCAT is down, really far down in the standings and can barely get out. Luckily for them though, again, Giants didn't get that serious win here, so can keep it still within 1 game.
Unfortunate circumstances, but you know, it is the nature. Tabzz going to be able to escape for now. Wisdom flashes away. Merc Scimitar buys some time. Smokescreen will deny some vision as Satorius actually, I think, got kicked back into the fight. Doesn't get to flash away. That's the tank down. Origen are in trouble. Turn their attention to Wisdom. ROCCAT looking for their 2nd kill. There's no GA. There's no revive. There's no survive for Wisdom. And Origen, 60 and 70-second death timers. ROCCAT, Deficio, they could look to finish here.
Yeah, it might be it. They have minions coming in the mid lane. They can at least get every single inhib down. But yeah, just 3 guys alive at 52 minutes. That's nothing. No flash on Phaxi to engage. Ulti from Maxlore is up soon. Then you have to respect that one. But at the very least, they get every single inhib. They have minions come in. Sadly, no super minions.
Tabzz on the front line. Really just trying to get as much poke down as he can. Not really out range of getting rooted by Maokai. NaeHyun, decent stun. Again, 30 seconds before the support comes back up. Tabzz spamming those mystic shots. Double super minions in every single lane.
They might try and chase here. Satorius does have teleport, but there's no wards behind ROCCAT, so don't think Origen can do anything, and they have to accept that not only did they lose a tank, they also lost every single inhib. So double super minions now in every lane. It's gonna make it so much harder to defend. They're rushing for Baron here while ROCCAT is recalling and coming from base. Wisdom is still dead for another 2 seconds. Maxlore will get there in time.
Origen looking like they're reacting quickly enough. Maxlore's going to be the target instead, though. Jump onto him. Blade of the Rune King, there's a GA to burn through. There's a flash as well. Another Mystic Shot flashes over the wall.
Maxlore didn't have any wards he could put down and jump to, so now he's recalling. Wisdom is back alive. He's at the Baron. Origen needs to rush this one and just burn it down as fast as possible and then use it to defend.
Wow, look at the damage onto NaeHyun.
That is huge. That is so huge.
Shot. Phaxi's looking to jump in on Vault. Decent enough stun from NaeHyun. Redemption coming down. Tags up NaeHyun. Betsy's going to jump into the pit. The Baron secured by Origen, but how many members can survive? Thus far it's 4. Satorius gets dropped down. GA has popped. He'll be the only one that gets killed. 4 members of Origen.
Oh, he's buying time.
Yeah, buying a lot of time. Look, there's super minions to deal with in the base. Baron empowered minions for Origen. 5 on 4. ROCCAT have 70 seconds to force the decider. ROCCAT can finish this game if they can do it before Satorius spawns.
And it might be before 75 minutes. Will be a new record between Origen and ROCCAT in the 2017 EU LCS. See if they can do it.
All right, pushing into the base. It's almost midnight, and there's still 1 game left to play. If ROCCAT can close this out, where are the supers? They're not on the steps. They're not on the steps. They've been cleared. Tabzz doesn't get tagged by the flourish, which means there's no root. He's still got a QSS. He's still got flash. Now there's supers inside the base, Deficio.
All right, so many. They got 6 super minions in here. They're going for Wisdom.
Wisdom's the target. He's rooted. Wild Growth comes up as well.
Oh, Betsy.
Curtain Call should be able to kill him, and it does. Betsy goes golden. NaeHyun, the target. He can't get away. Flash not available. Maxlore kicks Tabzz away. The Nexus turrets are the focus. Tabzz and xpeke trying to do what they can. Both Nexus turrets are down. The Nexus is the target, and ROCCAT bounce back against Origen to even the series 1-1. 1 more game.
ROCCAT, better early game, proactive. Origen fell behind, got the dragons. That was about it, honestly, in this one. And both these teams are just dead even. Like, no matter who wins today, they're just exactly even in terms of skill level. Which is why we get these insanely long games where they struggle to kind of snowball against each other and close out the game. So a rough one, this one.
It's tough to cast. It's interesting to watch, you know, for a number of reasons. It's not the cleanest of games, but like, can you imagine the pressure on the players? You know, not only did Origen just break their loss streak, but they are legitimately playing for a shot in summer. They are legitimately playing for a shot, potentially for their jobs.
Exactly. It's like if they asked you and me to fight each other and the loser would lose his job.
I mean, it's horrific. Plus, you kick my ass because you've been going to gym a lot more than me. But
I'm glad you said it on stream. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. We're going to game 3. ROCCAT clearly showed an increase in game number 2, and we're going to have to see what the analyst says about it. The frantic battle to say